This is the second part of Chapter 12 on digital media. And we left off on Part 1 looking at Google AdWords and sponsored links. And I want to move on with that. Looking at the pay-per-click model, which has proven very attractive to advertisers. Another characteristic of that model is that the amount that an advertiser owes for each click is determined in an auction where companies bid for keywords. Higher bids generally lead to better listings, but don't guarantee them, because the ranking of sponsored listings is also determined by an ad's performance. Text ads that attract lots of clicks rise in the rankings, while links that are ignored fall. Third, Google benefits from the targeted nature of search. When people are hunting for a term like marketing, they often find that the sponsored links are as useful as the search results. Google's other major ad program is AdSense. Websites that use AdSense set aside a portion of pages for Google text ads. The ads themselves are selected by Google software and inserted automatically without any input from the sponsoring site. The revenue model for the AdSense program is very similar to AdWords. Advertisers pay Google only when web users click the link and visit the sponsor sites. In this case, the owner of the site also gets revenue. Display ads on the web are ads that appear on content sites. The most common kind of display ads are banners and buttons. A banner is a little billboard that spreads across the top or bottom of the web page. When users click their mouse pointer on the banner, it sends them to the advertiser's site or a buffer page. Similar to banners are buttons, small versions of the banner that often look like an icon and usually provide a link to an advertiser's landing page, a marketing tool that leads people into the purchasing or relationship building process. Because buttons take up less space than banners, they also cost less. A form of advertising on the internet that is growing in popularity is the sponsorship of digital content. Corporations sponsor entire sections of a publisher's webpage or sponsor single events for a limited period of time, usually calculated in months. In exchange for sponsorship support, companies are given extensive recognition on the site. Sometimes an added value package is created by integrating the sponsor's brand with the publisher's content as a sort of advertorial, or with banners and buttons on the page. According to Forbes' recent ad effectiveness study, 74% of marketers send email advertising to customers who have asked for it. Marketers have always known that direct mail advertising is the most effective medium for generating inquiries and leads and for closing a sale. It's also been the most expensive medium on a cost per exposure basis. Now, thanks to the internet, the power of direct mail is increased even more and the cost is reduced dramatically. A word of caution though, it's important to differentiate responsible email advertising from spam, which is really just electronic junk mail. Spam generally refers to unsolicited mass email advertising for a product or service that is sent by an unknown entity to a purchased mailing list or news group. Spammers face the wrath of frustrated customers tired of having their inboxes filled with unwanted emails. Since January 2004, spammers also face litigation under the CAN-SPAM Act, controlling the assault of non-solicited pornography in marketing. With this in mind, wary marketers are focusing their email efforts on customer retention and relationship marketing, CRM, rather than on prospecting. Viral marketing is the internet version of word-of-mouth advertising. Advertising in digital media changes the planning process substantially when it is accomplished through programmatic advertising. Programmatic advertising is done largely via computer programs that match content sites such as CNN.com or MTV.com to advertisers via an advertising exchange. In essence, buyers don't purchase media but audiences. The bidding process ensures that those willing to make the highest bid show ads to the most desirable audience. Digital interactive, like any medium, has its drawbacks. It's not a mass medium in the traditional sense, and it may never offer mass media effectiveness. Some marketers may decide it's too complex, too cumbersome, too cluttered, or not worth the time and effort. It's not controlled by any single entity, so there may be no one to hold accountable. Security, for example, credit card purchases, has improved, but it's still a problem for some. The internet now addresses consumers in so many forms that it's not possible to identify a constant set of strengths and weaknesses. Smart advertisers are availing themselves of multiple forms: websites, search advertising, mobile, and social media to balance out weaknesses. But whatever the form, any advertiser who commits to digital interactive should be prepared to stay engaged with his or her target audiences. That engagement requires constant attention and time. While relationships can be automated at some websites, it's not possible or desirable in social media. The bottom line, the online marketer must be prepared to engage consumers on a daily basis. For the first time, customers and other stakeholders can truly respond to a company's media communications in real time, using the same channel for feedback that the company used for promotion. This means that even if a customer finds herself accidentally at the company's website, and if something there strikes her fancy, she can commence a dialogue or relationship with the company immediately. Of course, this also means that if the website triggers memories of a less than satisfactory experience, she can use the same mechanism for complaining. But that's actually good, because a customer that complains usually cares, and a complaint gives the company the opportunity to correct the situation and set things right. It also gives the company information on how to do better. Sophisticated marketers cherish feedback. Today's consumer doesn't want to talk to the retailer. She's a pretty sophisticated person. She knows who makes the product, and if she's got a complaint, that's who she wants to talk to. So it's not good enough for companies to put up a pretty website and then walk away from it. It has to be staffed daily, and it must be kept up to date daily. But this is expensive, often requiring companies to double or triple their internet budget with no increase in advertising exposure. So the decision to use the internet for integration is a big one and cannot be taken lightly.